Welcome back, my friends, to Golarion, to Quantium, capital of Nex, the greatest wizard city in the world. 4 adventurers, plus a rat, and a talking skull, and a badger, stand outside of a closet at the top floor of the Starry-Eyed Conservatorium. Zikariz, your lilac-eyed the talking skull, not a floating skull, just a talking one, utters a strange lilting password, and the whole closet just flares into light. The light absorbs you, envelops you, and suddenly you are standing in a very, very different room. Before you can really get your bearings, all of the lights in this room you're in turn red, and a warning klaxon rings. Warning, intruders in the sun mist steppe. As you spring to action, Zikariz looking around and going, "Something's wrong! Something's wrong! Stop them!" Before we get into what's next, let's have a quick recap about what happened last time.
So, last time we were sent by ship, which Mindy didn't handle very well, to Quantium because we are under the impression that Zikariz somehow is a missing Arc Lord. Arc Lords being like the ruling class of Nex. And I don't want to say we went on a wild goose chase, but we went to a bunch of different places trying to kind of like jog Zikariz's memory. And one of the places that we went to was I forget the word for it, conservatory?
Conservatorium.
A conservatorium for like underprivileged individuals to practice music and the arts and stuff like that. Which was set up by a mysterious benefactor that nobody can remember. We are kind of tailing the Night Hag's daughter, who seems to have beaten us to every punch, but we're still trucking along.
Oh, yeah. And that is where we are now. You have followed your leads. You went to the Scorpia's Grotto. You met this mysterious Arc Lord's one of her apprentices, who is a scorpion centaur woman, I think a Gertabalilu or something like that, named Gabrinaya, who sang you a song that unlocked part of Zikariz's memories. But so as you appear, there's a soft blue flash, and you arrive in a kind of ellipsoid-shaped room. There's a central teleportation circle that you're all standing on, surrounded by 12 sealed glass cases filled with nearly transparent mist. Floating inside each of them are ancient tomes and scrolls, yellowed with age and barely legible. They've got little styluses, like little silver rods on chains near them with little pointer fingers on them. You don't know what any of that really is or what it's about, because as soon as you appear in this room, all of the lights in it turn red, and a automated voice is like, intruders in the sun mist snell, intruders. And you hear to your left or to the west, through a set of double doors that are currently closed, you hear screeching metal and chittering laughter. Zikariz's eyes flare up, and she's like, "Something's wrong. No, we're not. It's not talking about us. Do something about it." So I ask you, what would you like to do? And how do all four of you react to appearing in this place?
I imagine that there's like a little bit of vertigo associated with suddenly finding yourself in a completely different location than you were before.
Yep.
So Mindy's probably not handling this very well either. Stomach upset wise. She looks a little green.
Her stomach hurt.
Her tummy hurt. But so we're in a tower. Are we like on there's stairs?
No, you're in an ellipsoid room. There's two sets of double doors, one to your right, one to your left. Through the left, you hear the screeching of metal and chittering laughter.
I don't like that. Can I see if if either of the doors are unlocked?
Yeah, you certainly can. So that's what you're like rushing to the door to figure out what's going to like check the door, see if it's open. I
would say rushing is a stretch. I would say sort of
ambling.
Staggering.
Staggering might be a better word for it.
Hobbling,
like having sea legs, like that kind of unsteady.
Yeah,
staggering might be the word. All right, H2. What about you?
I think it takes a moment for my sensors to recalibrate, but as soon as I hear Zikara's talking, I unsheath my greatsword and start trying to like figure out if the sounds, like the chittering laughter, is that something like familiar? Is that, we're chasing a night hag's daughter? Could that be?
It does not. Okay. Give me a quick Arcana roll.
Cool. I don't have Arcana.
You don't? Oh, well, give it a shot. Hot diggity dog. Boom! Immediately, you're like, this is not a night hag, but you know that Asleen has many allies in the plane of shadow, and you can definitely hear, just from the voices, that this is creatures of shadow. They also have a lot of sibilance to them. You think they're some sort of intelligent, shadow-infused reptile, like reptilian creatures.
Okay. Yeah, I don't communicate all of that. I just say shadow creatures, reptiles, probably intelligent.
All right. And Calamus.
I think the first thing Calamus does is pick up Digsby and check him over. Like, you okay, little buddy?
The visual
He just rolls over onto his back.
This small cactus little guy just picking up a badger that is larger than he is. Than they are. My apologies. Is just...
Wait, is Digsby supposed to be larger than Calamus?
They're both small at the moment. But Digsby has the potential, if Calamus takes certain feats, to become medium and then large.
I can ride him!
Either way, picking up
I
somebody...
can't wait to adjust this. I can't wait to adjust this on the character sheet. Sorry, go on.
But picking up somebody the same size as you is also not especially easy.
No.
Unless you're super strong.
I want to ride him now. I'm going to have to get him bigger.
You're going to have to take some feats for that.
So yeah, Calamus does a check over on Digsby, and once making sure that Digsby is fine, would then pretty much immediately, upon hearing Zikara's, draw out their weapon. What did I give them? I haven't had to say the name of this in a while. You
had that Thunder Mace. I don't know if we concluded if you were or weren't.
Yes,
because I know that you weren't proficient in the throwing shield.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I think your Thunder Mace is okay. Let me double check.
A mace is a simple weapon.
Yeah, so that shouldn't. So yeah, so you can. Yeah, you have that.
Yeah, so then Calamus will pull out their Thunder Mace and their shield, and after looking Digsby over.
Well, for the Thunder Mace is a two-handed weapon.
Oh, did not realize that. Okay, so yeah, just Thunder Mace.
Pulls out your big fucking stick.
And then after making sure Digsby is okay, we'll look, I guess not glance down, but glance to the side at Digsby, and just tell him to be on alert.
Cool. And Ist, Zikaris is in your hands and is getting very agitated. We've got to stop them!
Yeah, I think she was fully prepared to start looking at the stuff in the cases, but as soon as the klaxon started going, I want you to picture this. The massive ears just sort of folded down against the side of her head to just try and block some of the noise.
Oh.
Aw.
Just because that's a horrible noise, and I have very large ears, is the thing.
No.
Can you tuck your ears under your hood?
I don't. I think it's more just like not all animals have got that kind of flexibility in their ears, but they can definitely sort of go down and smush.
Oh, I mean, like, can you do this?
But probably, but not when I'm carrying a skull.
Visual action in an audio medium. Sam pantomimed pulling his hat down over his ears.
Sam just did this an incredible demo.
Fuck. Sorry.
No, you're good. Sam is performing for us. It's easy to forget that we're also recording a podcast.
I apologize to the listeners for my visual motion there.
Ist, give me a perception check.
All right. Oof. I'll hero point that because I'm feeling agitated and seeing Ist agitated, like
Zikaris?
she's obnoxious. She's not normally like this.
Yeah, Zikaris, you mean?
Yes. Well.
Wow, good lord. It's a 19. It's enough. So Ist, you cover your ears. You dampen the noise of the klaxon, but strangely, it doesn't. Like, the noise coming into your ears dampens. The noise coming into your head does not. And maybe it's because you're a psychic, but you're like, oh, this is not just an auditory effect. This is a telepathic warning as well.
Oh, this is some real this transcends spoken language. This is on every frequency. And I'm saying that out loud as I hold on to Zikaris.
Yes, it's very impressive to stop them!
You want me to throw you at them? We're working on it, gesturing to H2 with the fuck-off sword that is bigger than I am.
So H2 and Mindy, I think we're going towards the door. Mindy,
Yes.
you check that door where you hear the shooting on the other side of, and it is indeed not locked.
Can I sort
You
of
pull
like
it open.
crack? Oh, I was gonna say, can I crack the door and peek through?
Yeah, I'm just going to show you the next room over, regardless. Yeah, you peek through, you see some sort of like foyer. It's like this beautiful open air courtyard with like a gate on one side. Its walls support etchings of enormous humanoid shaped beings chiseled out of a mountain by thousands of tiny workers. And there's a gate on the left, which has just been, gnawed or torn open by these little sinuous, they're tiny, but they're like fast and zippy little draconic creatures that are like made partially of living shadow. They have gleaming yellow eyes and curly, like sinuous snake-like bodies, and then like little bat wings. And they're like, get the shinies, get the golem, do it, get him. And that is in Draconic. You are hearing that, which I actually don't know if any of you speak Draconic.
I might. Nope, I speak Infernal. Actually, I have one language that I, like, don't have. Can I make it Draconic and then, like, leave that as Draconic for the rest of it? Whoops,
Sounds
there's
good.
the blank language.
You have now declared Draconic. Yeah, and so these guys, and they're like very gleeful, like, we're gonna fucking rob and smash this place to pieces. And then, but you crack the door, and they look, and they say, "Eh!" And they move to attack. Roll initiative.
I squeak and I fucking slam the door shut again.
Incredible.
Important question, GM. These little shitheels, are they just rolling standard perception for initiative, or are they using anything else?
Right now, they're using perception.
Okay.
Because they are not.
27.
Holy shit, nat 20 initiative.
Pretty cool.
That's a 19 for Ist on initiative.
Poor H2 got an 11.
No.
All right, so Mindy, you are first. You are fast on the initiative. You see these things. They go, ah! Something! Get it! And they are absolutely going to come to attack you.
Okay, I want to save that one for later. I am... Oh god, what spells do I have?
Do you slam the door to give yourself a moment?
I did slam the door, but...
You did slam the door, so the door is currently slammed and closed.
Yes.
And actually, when you had cracked the door open, you saw that it has little eyes with diamond-like facets, and you look at that, and you're like, oh, that's like a scrying sensor.
Oh my god, it's a magic peephole.
Yeah.
That's very fucking funny.
Yeah, but you know it's not connected to this room. It's like all the doors are. You like look at them and like can tell. Oh, this is connected to something further in. Anyone in here is known to someone further.
Security room.
Oh, pinhole camera.
Yeah. So Mindy, the door is closed. If you'd like to wait until someone else is going, you can also delay your turn.
I might. I'm not. Just trying to figure out what's going on here.
You could recall knowledge to figure out what might be the best way to tackle little shadow reptile beasties.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that, and I can also use Pocket Library.
That's a spell?
It's a spell, yeah. It's part of the action to recall knowledge. I must have a hand free to do so. A tome appears in my hand, open to the appropriate page, and grants me a +1 status bonus on recall knowledge check.
Nice.
Basically, I summon a book from my pocket
Tight.
to look up this information.
Cool. I will say, you've got that listed as a 1-action spell. That's actually a 3-action spell.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Good to know. So that's the only thing I can do
Though,
today.
to be fair, that's a 3-action spell that lasts for 24 hours.
So you could have said you did it earlier?
You could have, yeah. So it's basically, you cast it, it lasts for 24 hours, and at any point within those 24 hours, you can spend your recall knowledge action to summon a tome from the library.
Okay. Let's say that I did that while everybody else was in the real library. I was bored, and so I was reading out of my personal library.
Sure. All right, well then make an Arcana check with a +1 bonus.
Hell yeah. That's a
Wow.
natural 1. And I got a
That is a
13.
critical failure. Thankfully, when using Pocket Library, if you roll a critical failure, you just get a failure instead. So you are unless you want to spend a hero point.
I don't think I do. Not on this roll.
Okay. Then you're okay, shadow creatures, shadow creatures, shadow creatures. Bah! Shadow puppets. That's not right.
It's well, that's not the book I was trying to get.
You summon a book on puppetry. Not useful.
Cool. I dismiss the book and I go,
And the spell ends.
now that I've used one of my actions for the turn, I'm just gonna... I go, well, that didn't work. Time to wing it. And I'm gonna go in with a magic missile.
Okay, so the door is currently closed.
Got it. So can I open the door and shoot a magic missile at... Oh, maybe not a magic missile then.
Yeah, it would be opening the door and having one action left to cast magic missile.
Yeah, one action left to cast something. Do I have anything better to cast than...
Do you have the lightning arc cantrip?
I do have the lightning arc cantrip. Electric arc.
Either way, it's going to be an action to open the door, and you'll only have one action left.
Oh, is electric arc a 2-action spell? It is a 2-action.
Almost all spells are 2-action spells.
Fuck. Okay.
If you're not sure about attacking this round, you could move and put your shield up for when these little buggers get in the room. Or you can open the door and move in and use your full movement to not be next to these little guys.
Perfect. That's a great idea. I'm gonna open the door and immediately run over to the corner.
They all kind of watch you Ralph follows you. He's on your shoulder. All right, Calamus. Door is open. You see these little critters, shadow creatures of some sort.
I mean, it probably doesn't go against my anathema to go in and...
They're not real animals. They just look like little animals.
You have no idea what these things are.
The world will be better for me getting rid of them.
They don't
H2
H2 of the natural world though, right? Because they're like these little shadowy...
H2, once the door opens and you see them, you recognize these as shadow drakes, which are like lesser dragons of the shadow plane.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying H2 did say beforehand, that they were shadow creatures, so...
Yeah, and drakes are dragons, and technically that's not animals.
Yeah, they can look after themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's each square is 5.
Yes. All right, so you run in. You run in 20 feet up you run into the foyer. First thing you realize when you enter the foyer is that underneath you, outside the window, is just open sky.
Oh.
You are on, you knew that this was where you were going. You are on a floating island far above the ocean, and past the hole in the wall that these things just busted open is just sky.
Calmus definitely looks uneasy for a second. I'm a cactus. I grow in the ground. Calmus is gonna focus on hitting this thing to hopefully not focus on the other things.
Sure.
So I'm gonna try and whack it with my thunder mace.
Yep, you whip your thunder mace towards it. Unfortunately, it misses. You rolled a 9 to hit. The shadow drake kind of and goes like da, 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 and shouts at you in Draconic. You do not understand the language.
Mandy, what'd it say?
What'd it say?
Mindy, it says something very rude.
Oh.
You don't want to know.
That's 2 actions. You still have one to command Digby.
Yeah. Let's have Digsby come on up. Oh, we just snap on top of each other. Alright, well, I'm under there somewhere. Maybe Digsby
Yeah, well,
can
he
be
can't. He can't be on the same square as you.
Okay. I don't want him to be flanked. I'm gonna have him hang out here, I guess? Because I don't want him to be, with 2 of them.
Sure.
That feels like a job for someone much less squishy.
Sure. Alright, so he runs up. That's 1 action. He has another action.
Can he attack diagonally?
Yeah.
Okay, he gon' chomp.
He gon' chomp.
He gon' chomp.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ! How is
Digby
this?
chomp hard.
How is he
Digby
stronger
rolls a
than me?
19. Because he's a...
Damn.
He's a killing
It's a-
machine.
He is a badger.
You're a druid. You're not
for the
supposed to be
listeners.
hitting things in melee.
It's true, I
For
don't
the-
know.
For
I don't
the
know how to do
listeners, Digsby just rolled a 19.
Yeah, which, it's not that... He rolled a 12 plus 7.
It's fine.
not-
Calamus
this is
just
not
needs to stop being in melee. This is fine.
The thing is, the Calamus is... You have a +1 to strength. You're not really built for being a melee druid. You could. It's possible to be a melee druid, but you just are not in that direction. Though to be fair, you're also not bad. Digsby's only 1 higher than you.
Okay. So
Either
I
way,
just got a shade roll.
Digsby. Yeah, you rolled a 2 and you rolled a 3 and he rolled a 12. Either way, Digsby trundles up and just takes a chomp out of the shadow drake, who goes "Ah!" Very unpleasant. Deals 8 damage. Which seems to have done a significant chunk of this thing's hit points. It doesn't look bloodied yet, but it does not look good either. Meanwhile, Ist.
Yeah, I am going to step and move into this next square over.
Okay.
Not quite keeping cover. I just want to get a clear shot at the drake that Digsby just took a chunk out of.
Okay, that'd be this one.
Yep, number 1 on our map. And I sort of hold my hand up in front of my face and I'm doing a little monocle or a little eye and squint and then sort of turn it into a finger gun as I send a phase bolt skittering towards the shadow drake.
Ooh.
That's beautiful.
Phase bolt. That sounds sick.
It's a bolt of magical energy that stutters in and out of phase. What's really dope about phase bolt is if you're attacking a creature that has a circumstance bonus from a shield or from cover, or I suppose a spell, it reduces that by 2. I rolled a 14 to hit. Does that
14 is not too far off, but unfortunately is not a hit. It like roils and wriggles through the air and looks at you like, "Wah!"
Yeah, I imagine it's like, you know when you see like light bouncing off something, like that way it sort of flickers when it's caught
like
through a prism?
refracting.
Yeah, I
Sure,
imagine
sure.
that's what the bolt looks a little bit like as it flickers through the air.
Hell yeah. Zikra is just like, "You get out of here! You little bastards! How dare you!" Yeah. But unfortunately, that was a.
Yep, that's me.
Yes. All right. Next are the Shadow Drakes. They are going on 1 initiative. The first one is going to look at Digsby and Calamus and go, "Nyah!"
Give a little wave.
and is going to shoot out spit a ball of black liquid that explodes into a cloud of frigid black shadow.
Calamus looks disgusted.
It's a 5-foot burst, which will hit both Digsby and Calamus. I need both of them to make a reflex save.
Okay.
Jesus, Digsby.
Wow.
Can you please
I mean,
tell our
I-
listeners the difference between your saving throw and Digby's saving throw, Anya? Because
Well-
that's hilarious.
Yeah, Calamus rolled a 9 saving throw, and Digsby rolled a 25!
So Calamus fails, takes 13 cold damage. Digsby succeeds, takes 6 cold damage. And you notice that there is a lamp in the ceiling above you that gutters and goes out when this thing blasts its shadow breath at you. And then this thing is going to spend its third action, to do a speed surge and just fly straight past you into this room where it goes, "Shinies, look at this!" And it looks like it's going to try to start smashing stuff in that next room. So that's that one. And then this one is going to bounce past you, Calamus, Digby, and go do a Draconic Frenzy on H2, where it takes 1 bite strike and 2 tail strikes.
Oh boy.
Big, gotta pick a fight with the biggest person in the room energy from that shadow drake.
Yes, it rolls a 22 for the first one,
Which barely hits.
and then 2 8s. So you do take 12 piercing damage. It's a good damage. As it like chomps down on you and just starts wriggling. And then the last one shoots past and then is going to do the same thing to Ist. So one of those is a 30, which is going to crit on you.
Yeah, it is.
Unfortunate.
Frankly.
Very rude.
Oh,
Ouch.
Ist takes 26 piercing
Oof.
damage
Fucking hell.
as it just really goes for her. Or them? I forget. Is
Both.
Ist is
She, they.
Okay, cool. She they. I thought so. Ist just immediately looks really fucked up by this Shadow Drake's bites.
If I flavor it, if you like, I really like the visual of it jumping up and just like ripping off or partially tearing off one of Ist's ears, given how big they are, and we were just talking about them.
Mhm. Yeah,
Also
just
one
gnawing
nasty,
at yours
so I'm just like...
in a way that really hurts.
And I grew up with other goblins who chew on each other for fun.
Jesus.
H2, that is you.
Well, I may be an emotionless robot, but seeing this Drake severely injure Ist, I go into a rage. So
yeah.
that's one action.
I do love the idea of HT being like, I assure you, I am an emotionless machine.
I would just like to
How
remind
dare
you.
Yeah.
How dare you hurt my little goblin friend?
Have you described what H2 going into a rage looks like, August? Like,
H2 going into a rage, it's primarily an audio thing because, like, she's already a big warrior robot, right? Like,
Yeah.
nothing about that changes. She doesn't, she already has, claws on her hands, and, I imagine her being a little spiky. None of that changes, but you hear, like, this metallic shrieking. Like, her vocal synthesizer is not meant to encapsulate this kind of rage. And so it's shrieking and staticky and just really unpleasant.
good shit.
I love that. Visually, I have a question.
Yes.
Does she have lights on her body? Is there parts of her that are glowing from like the robotness?
No, I don't think she has.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was gonna be like, what if the light changes color?
LEDs.
Like LEDs, yeah. Just to, like, give you another thing to emote with.
Maybe when I level up, I'll get ground lights. So that's what this Drake hears as I take a chop with my greatsword.
Cool, baby.
So that would be 18 damage total because I rolled a 22 on attack and then a 12 on damage.
A 22 will hit, and an 18 damage really fucks this monster up. That little Drake is looking very hurt. Could not take that amount of damage again.
Well, it's going to potentially have to, because I am going to take my third action to do a second attack, which I roll a 22 again.
Roll a 22 again. Fucking sick. Even with a -5, that's still a 22. Damage does not look good, a 5, but that's 5 plus 6, 11 damage, which fully cleaves this thing into smoldering remains.
Hell yeah.
Your fingers tighten on the hilt of your sword as you wheel upon the next one, and the killing continues. Round 2, Mindy Melrose.
Hello.
Nobody hit you, at least.
Nobody hit me. I'm gonna go for an electric arc.
All right, fantastic. Currently, you can only see one of the drakes.
Okay.
But you could move up before this to be able to attack to hit both of them.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Where do I have to move to hit both of them? Like here? Oh, Ralph.
That's a
Right.
perfect. Ralph. Wait for me.
Wait, does Ralph say Ralph's name?
Like a Pokemon.
No,
He does
Ralph
not-
isn't a Pokemon.
Ralph.
Yes.
He's my good little companion man. Don't make him a Pokemon.
He's not a
He's my
Pokemon.
little guy.
All right,
He's
2.
just a
Oh,
little-
Jesus Christ. Well, they both save, but they very nearly crit. They rolled 28, but your saving throw is 19, which means they still take half of that 8 electricity damage.
Cool.
The Shadow Drake 1, the one that is in the other room, ready to smash stuff up, is looking very hurt, but is still alive and ready to cause some trouble. Calamus, that's you.
Calamus is gonna look at Digsby and say, hold down the fort, little buddy. And so is gonna command Digsby to attack the one that's attacking H2.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get that one.
Fuck yeah.
Digsby rolled
yeah.
a 26 to attack.
Digsby rolled a 26, and Digsby is flanking with Calamus,
Jesus Christ.
which means Digsby... So, there's a critical damage there. I think that we should take off that automatic roll, because it's more fun to just double the damage you rolled, especially in this case, where the damage that Digsby rolled was at 10. which means Digsby does 20 damage to this thing.
This strong fucking badger. What?
Digsby takes it down to nearly to single-digit hit points. Just absolutely tears into this membranous wings of this thing. It screeches. It's furious, and Digsby says, Digsby does have one more action. He can try for a claw strike if he's got that, or just another jaw strike.
Yeah, that's you can do a claw strike here. 15 to hit.
Yep. So that would be. It's actually an 11 to hit because it's a -4.
Oh.
Yes. So unfortunately, Digsby does not connect on that second strike, leaving the Shadow Drake deeply injured but alive. Calamus, you have 2 actions left.
Yes. So Calamus is going to back up No, I guess they don't really need to move. They'll stay where they're at, and then they're gonna go for a spell this time. Or actually, real fast, let me check how everyone is doing on aliveness.
I have 5 hit points for what it's worth.
I'm gonna heal Ist. Let's see.
I
As a 2
appreciate
action.
you. Yeah, one of my ears is kind of half hanging off.
Oh, buddy. Let's do heal as a 2 action spell. Range of 30 feet. Increased hit points restored by 8, and I roll 1d8 plus 8, basically. Well, enjoy that.
Hey,
10 HP.
Look, 15 is a fuck lot better than 5.
So, the dice hate Calamus. The dice love Digsby.
I mean, who doesn't
This is
love
the
Digsby?
first time you've healed Is. What does it look like?
I think, can vines wrap around Ist and glow?
Sick as hell. That's sick as hell.
Yeah, a little, just hey, we're gonna wrap you up right now.
Yeah, it's
What if it does
they're
like
there.
like sutures, like little vines? Just
yeah.
Cool.
I like
All right,
that.
that is Calamus. Ist, that is you. There is 2 Shadow Drakes left.
I just need to check the wording on one of my spells quickly. Okay, I don't want to use that one.
Oh no.
No, it's just it's an area of effect, and I wanted to check if it was I could specify the creatures, or if it's just if you're in the area.
Get fucked, apparently.
I don't want H2 to get fucked, especially after she just did me a very much solid.
Heel turn of the century. Turns out, I'm evil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what kind of save is it? Is it reflex?
Fortitude.
I've got a 10 on my fortitude save.
Yeah, but you've already taken. Yeah, no, I like the flavor of this. If you genuinely don't mind, August, then
I do not mind.
Okay, then I think what this looks like is even as the little vine is working its way to patch up Ist's ear, something happens that y'all have never seen before, because Ist doesn't like losing fucking 26 hit points in one go. Funnily enough.
Weird how that works.
So I unleash my psyche.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
I call on the depths of my mind and let psychic power flood through me. And I literally sort of take off a little bit, with the power of my psychicness, and sort of colors swirl around me, and you can hear little snippets of conversations and Ist saying things at different points in their life, and their eyes glow a similar sort of color. And looking forward, she just says, "No, I think we're fucking done, actually." And I'm gonna cast Sound Burst. A cacophonic noise blasts out, dealing 2d10 sonic damage in a 10-foot burst, which I think if I cast it basically on where H2 is, it can get both 3 and 1.
I actually have little things.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Yeah.
Ooh, marvelous.
Whoa.
Nice.
I
That
forget
is
that
a
I have this.
shit damage roll. But
What do you
hey,
roll? 6.
they've got to do a fortitude save. But because my psyche has been unleashed, I gain a status bonus to damage equal to double the spell's level. So that will go from 6 damage to 10.
Not too bad. And you blast out this psychic reverberation, and the fucking, H2 is totally fine. That's a nat 20, 30 on a saving throw. You see all those display cases kind of shimmer and shake, but hold firm. And you might, that is a 23 and a 25 for these shadow drakes. Lucky's all hell, except the second one, number 3, the one that got smashed by Calamus, by Digsby, is so hurt that even succeeding, it still pops. But this one, in the room with you, is still alive and ready to cause some mischief. Unless you'd like to spend a hero point to force a reroll.
You know what? I would love to do that. Thank you. I had forgotten that was
God,
an
I fucking
option
forget
could
about
spend hero points on. Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. You spend it. He rerolls. He's got a +7. Comes a 19. Still a success, unfortunately. Much less of one, but still a success.
These strong little bastards.
I'm a strong little bastard.
I would like to say for H2's save, like, you know, the air shimmering with the physical or visual manifestation of Is psychic powers, but H2's just standing there, her grip on her greatsword tightens, some exhaust fans kick in, and she's still letting out her scream, and that cancels out some of the sound.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Incredible. All right, this Shadow Drake is going to...
But I've still got an action. Unleash your
Oh, you
psyche is
do?
a free action.
Oh shit, sick.
I'm just deciding because I'm not up in melee and I do not have any one action spells. Unfortunately, tragically, I don't just want to raise my shield is the thing. Oh wait, does an attack still take the bonus because I didn't roll to attack with my spell? It was a saving throw, or is it still considered an attack?
That was not an attack. It doesn't have the attack trait.
So I wouldn't take the bonus.
Minus the multiple attack penalty, you would not.
Oh, wicked. Hey, the fun thing about stiletto pens is you can pull them out and throw them in the same turn.
Oh
'Cause
boy.
there's stiletto pens.
That's fun.
Motherfucker!
Dagger.
God damn it, that would have been cool!
Unfortunately, that's a 10.
Fuck, why did I spend the hero point before? God fucking damn it. Oh wait, was that...
Oh.
That was with my... I didn't have that set up as a throne. That was my strength modifier. How's my dex? Dex would add 2 to that, and that's still not going to be enough.
12. 12 is still not enough, unfortunately. My
God
apologies.
damn it.
You shoot the
I
stiletto
think
pen.
is shrieking in Goblin much in the same way that I, Jade, am swearing.
It's like, are you kidding me?
This Shadow Drake looks at you, looks at H2. Oh wait, no, this guy already spent his thing. Can't shoot his fire, his Shadow Breath. So instead, he is just going to attack the protected tomes with Draconic Frenzy, which is... to say that these things, they're pretty tough. They have an AC of 15, but they're immune to critical hits because they're, whatever. Okay, so he has 2 hits off on it. You think the thing will start just tearing away at the thing? It puts a couple scratches in the display case, but is not able to smash them properly. Looks upset and annoyed at that, and just zips towards the next door and begins to pound against it. H2.
Let me check something really quick. Okay, I don't need to sudden charge for this. I can just spend one action to chase the Shadow Drake, and then I can raise my greatsword and chop down on it. That is a 14 to attack.
14 to attack will unfortunately not hit.
Alright. So it like wriggles out of my attack range, and I bring my sword back up for another attempt to strike it, which the attack roll was a 5, so that definitely whiffs.
Yeah. I will remind you do have a hero point if you'd like to use it. You have 2, even.
Yeah, I will use a hero point to reroll.
There you go. Throw the hero point down.
And that one's a 22.
22 is going to hit. 8 damage plus 6. 14 damage. You smash, like you miss, swing, and then at the last second you like just get so mad you just fucking headbutt this thing. And it smashes into the door and fully blows the doors open.
Oops.
Did I do that?
As the round ends, and I show you what is on the other side.
Ooh. Thank you for turning off Fog of War. This looks cool as hell.
So you see, H2, you see this first, before anyone else does. You see, despite the, like, corpses of other, you see, notice one, there's like a window on the opposite side of this big chamber that is smashed open and other Shadow Drakes had come in, but they have all been dispatched. And despite the, like, shadow goop everywhere, an air of serenity still pervades the space. You see below hundreds of smooth azurite and lapis lazuli pebbles decorate the chamber's floor. The blue gems harmonize in wavy patterns that catch the light streaming in from above and reflect it into the room, giving the air a misty quality. The walls rise up 60 feet, tapering to a narrow iris. Cabicons strung together on wires sway due to the breezy draft, deflecting off one another in a sound akin to lithographic wind chimes. Closed doors lead to other parts of the buildings. There are 2 large devices in this room. At the north is a raised platform whose boundary is inlaid with diamonds. Its inner rings wrought from pure gold. Several magic foci float above, directing some sort of energy into a glowing globe at the center. The second is a cylindrical apparatus standing nearly 30 feet in height and seems to be channeling sunlight through it. At its base is a large diamond that has been shaped into a prism. H2, as you step into the doorway, a figure in the room looks up to meet your gaze. A humanoid figure, very clearly not made from living material. His body appears to have been carved from a single block of weathered jasper, bearing dark gray, red, and brown stripes and splotches, with 2 titanium-tinted sapphires for eyes. A single celestial rune has been carved into his forehead. He wears long, flowing robes and holds a large silver rod with a clenched fist on the end. Despite all this, it's clear at a glance that the figure's crafting was incomplete. His head contains no ears. And he turns, looks up from, like, he just finished using that silver rod to smash one of the Shadow Drakes. There was a bunch of other animate furniture and statues in the room dealing with the other Drakes. And they all kind of just turn and look at you as the door smashes open and the 2 groups see each other for the first time.
Give a little wave.
I think H2 looks at all the Drakes, looks back at the golem, and is just like, we do not intend any property damage.
I love her.
I'm gonna walk up next to H2 just to get a closer look at what's going on over here.
Yeah, and I'll share Mindy. Do some art of Mindy. I'm going to share art of this fine fellow.
Nice.
Yeah, he looks at you. Give me a diplomacy or some other check, H2.
I'll go diplomacy. I rolled a 7, so it's not like it does very much, but I tried. Gold star.
Yeah, you see that he does not move, but the animated statues and furniture around him kind of like huddle, like protectively, defensively, like thinking that you might strike. Mindy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna sort of say, hold on. We mean you no harm. She just sort of looks between. So you said there's a living statue and a guy with no ears who is a robot. I'm trying to zoom in on the map here.
He's built. He's carved from stone. He is like made of like jasper.
Cool. That rules.
So it looks like some sort of golem, but you can like most golems are not built with like full like expressive like faces. There certainly seems to be some like intelligence beyond like the normal like automaton stuff that golems usually have. And as you are like kind of talking over there, he kind of squints and like taps the side of his head where his ears would be.
I don't think he can hear you.
I see. Do I sort of turn back to Ist and go, Ist, you know sign language, right?
Ist is currently, having dropped out of Psyche being unleashed, is stupefied for a couple of rounds.
I see.
And so
Ist is kind of like stumbling
unsteady.
around with like little like psychic bubbles around your head.
The visual of bubbles is actually really fucking funny, and I do kind of love that. And it's only stupefied one for 12 seconds, basically. But I think the bubbles are still... yeah, but I like that the psyche, as it drops, because it unleashes and it coalesces the colours that were swirling around me into like these like soap bubbles. And as the last of them pops, it shakes her head a little bit, holding Zikaris to their chest. Well, goblin sign language, but I can give it a shot. Who are we talking to?
I point to the stone man with no ears.
I will cross over and sort of like wriggle between these two, holding like Zikaris as I so often do, just sort of like facing outwards against my chest, and with my other hand, I will do the goblin sign for. It's kind of hard to translate. It doesn't have an exact translation into common, but it's basically "we aren't cops."
Give me a society or a diplomacy check.
Let me take my stupefied off first, please.
Yeah, for sure. As you are going, Zikaris says, "Hey, remember those sapphires I bought from Olorthu, the Oriad gem merchant in the markets?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're in that guy's head.
Incredible.
Those eyes.
Fucking bullshit." Does somebody want to help me out?
Everyone did get a hero point.
I would love to.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to, they can also spend one of their hero points to boost.
I have
Ist.
3 hero points, so I feel like I can help you out.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah, how does Calamus like help Ist?
Oh gosh, because you're doing sign language.
I'm saying it. Well, I was probably speaking Goblin as I do it.
Okay.
So, but you can hear what Zikaris is saying. So.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you're not even trained in diplomacy. I thought you were.
Nope.
I am.
Oh, shit. I am trained in society. Should I have done society instead? As that's the one
it's up to you. Whichever one's better for you.
My modifier is the same.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. If I'm getting the help action, I will roll society this time as I'm being helped. As I said, modifier is the same. Because maybe I think about it and like Ist comes into sight and I'm like, yeah, no, slightly different tack. This looks like a more lawful sort of person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Okay. Well, it becomes a 20.
Mm-hmm.
which is not bad. As you're saying, like he like definitely looks at the skull and like and then looks at the badges that you're wearing of those black skulls with the purple eyes and like squints, kind of like disapprovingly.
I'm gonna pull out my Wayfinder because I actually do have one, and I'll sign. We're here with them, pointing to the Wayfinder, but mostly with her, and point to the skull and hold her up.
Cool. So Ist, we got a success from Ist. We got a failure from H2. He's going to give Mindy and Calamus a chance to speak up, and then he will make whatever decision will be made.
We love a group skill check.
Is Ist acting as like a interpreter for all of this?
Sure.
Let's say, yeah, sure. I do love the notion of going through to goblin sign language, which I've been thinking of a little bit like Thieves' Cant, and a little bit just sort of like, it's very sharp little jagged motions, because the goblins are survivors. They're the little cockroaches of the world, and it's sort of like very like, this is stuff that can be done very small, so not to attract attention. And it tends to be a lot of very direct statements. There's not a lot of floweriness to it. So anything kind of gets distilled down. You know what it's like? I just remembered the fucking Key and Peele anger translator skit for Obama.
Yeah.
That's what I think Goblin sign language kind of does. It sort of like distills it to its most key issue. And that art of Ralph is incredible. Holy shit, Sam.
Thank you. I used to have a black-hooded rat. These are all going to be up on social media for the listeners as well.
But yes, I will translate as Mindy and Calamus.
Yeah, Calamus, reading everyone else's vibe, I guess, would like to do some kind of offering of peace to show that we're not...
Sure, yeah. If you'd like, if you don't want to use a society or diplomacy, you could also use like nature or another magical thing to like produce symbols.
Yeah, that's so cute.
I could grow a little flower for them and like have Digsby deliver it.
Sure, yeah, give me a nature roll.
14.
14 is not going to succeed.
Oh no.
You could hero point for what it's worth.
Yeah, let's do a hero point. I feel like we should probably get these people on our side. Okay. Let's try that again.
Roll 20.
Well, because of,
Can you not?
Because of our house rule, it becomes a 24. Digsby kind of waddles up with a flower in his mouth, and the golem figure, he's like this beautiful, like incredibly like regal looking, like brown orange stone with a celestial rune and the sapphire eyes, very striking figure, kind of kneels and takes it very gently and like gives Digsby a little pat on the head. And then looks to Mindy.
Through our sort of collective translator, I basically am just going to be like, we mean you no harm. We're here investigating. Like, I'm just basically like, you know, we're as confused as you are, but these enemies that, you know, these guys, these little dudes, these little fuckers are a mutual enemy and we should work together type vibe. I don't have anything in character to say there. I'm brains fucked.
Well, what brought you to the Sun Mist Stell?
Zikra is dead. Kind of.
Okay.
I mean, I also, like, gesture towards Zikara's, and I'm like, you know, do you know each other? I did roll a 24 for a society check.
Oh, you did? So you did. Okay, fantastic. He looks at all of you, very kind of like stonily, haha. Very, very like, in a way that's like kind of considering. And then his smile, his face breaks into a very kind of friendly, if like kind of stoic smile. And he nods and he says, "Welcome to the Sun Mist Stell. Please." And he gestures for you to come in. You can speak. A lot of deaf people are able to speak. You just can't hear. Pulls you, gestures you in. All of the animate furniture that was just like tables and stuff, all scoop up the shadow drakes and kind of whisk them away. And then, shortly after, return with, their friends, chairs and benches and stuff, who all kind of arrange themselves around him. And you find one really sturdy one comes by and he sits on it. And he welcomes you to meet with him.
Well, Est won't be rude this time. And we'll probably doesn't sit on one of the chairs offer, but if any kind of side table has offered itself there, we'll perch on that.
Sure, yeah. You perch on it and it kind of rattles a little bit, like it's like one of the legs is too short. Then it straightens up and it's normal, and it kind of shudders like it's laughing.
Everyone's a fucking comedian. You got a knot right here.
I'm gonna sweep my skirts in and very, very daintily sit down on one of the offered chairs.
It squeaks.
I will put Zikaris on a chair.
Oh, actually, they bring a fancy pedestal for Zikaris.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
You're going to give her ideas, and then I will set her on the pedestal.
And yeah, so now that you're closer, he says, "All right, now that we are closer, I should have no issues reading your lips. My name is Vrisk, and I am the caretaker and curator of the Sun Mist Stell."
It's nice to meet you. And I introduce us. I give names, and I'm like, we don't really know Zikaris' deal, but she's fairly certain she built you.
Pardon me, little one, but you seem injured. I can speak, but allow me to tend to your wounds.
I was just okay.
Yeah, and he heals you for 2d8 hit points over the course of this conversation.
Very nice.
Next, we'll say this will take an hour to talk, so he'll heal you the full 16.
Sweet.
So, this is quite the tale, but one I think is good to hear. Once, there was an Arc Lord. Her goal in furthering her skills was always to master the interplay between magic and life. Her earliest studies taught her of the connection between magic and music. Since then, she discovered and learned ancient techniques that allowed constructs forged through arcanistry to house living souls. They say that these proto-golems were the oldest of their kind, crafted before all else as guardians and scholars. Of course, since their time, much of the process has been corrupted through experimentation, and the golems of Golarion today are a pale imitation. But through years of trial, this Arc Lord succeeded in creating an apparatus that could house a living soul freshly forged in the plane of positive energy, possibly allowing it to enter the host body that she prepared, marked with a celestial rune on its forehead. After many days of telepathic conversation, as this initial draft had neither ears nor mouth, the proto-golem chose a name and gender for himself. Myself, Risk, came to identify as male. Illyria was intrigued by this decision, for she had long believed herself to be male and presented as such, but always felt that she was meant for something different. And aided by conversations with the proto-golem about life, magic, and souls, she reached an epiphany. In the same place where she helped bring a new soul to the surface of Golarion, she herself transitioned into her more true persona, with me as her closest confidant. And thus, no matter what form she takes, it would be impossible to not recognize my friend.
Aww.
And he looks at Zikarez, who is like very kind of shocked, but like also like not. It like stuff clicks into place.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, Illyria Tizonic. That is who I was. That is who I am, who I will be. Well, that's Zikriz is kind of floored, but is now is like, it seems like this was the final piece, and the previous identity is like flooding back. Oh, that's gonna make a lot less sense to make skull puns now.
I think it still makes some sense.
I think you can still do it. I think you can get away with it.
I don't know that I know how to stop anymore.
Yeah, you should probably just keep going.
Yes, and this is, I do not know how Illyria's spirit came to reside within this skull, but it is her without a doubt.
I think Est looks at Illyria and it's just like, I can't believe you managed to get more interesting. Fucking criminal.
I don't know why that's surprising. I'm the most interesting thing ever.
It's really hard to argue, having just heard that story from the gentleman made of fucking Jasper, who apparently you helped create. I could say something about you having to literally make friends in order to make friends, but that seems kind of unkind.
I think it's interesting that this golem, sorry, forgive me, did you say that you were the first golem?
I am the first new proto-golem, built in the ancient way. The process was forgotten.
How new?
How long? He's not like young. He's like, she made him like a while ago.
Yeah.
He's like been here for a while. Probably. I don't know that I have like a full, like a timeline, but like he's like many years old.
Old as fuck.
Maybe not old as fuck, but
older than us, except possibly age 2.
like
who knows?
Yeah, like I don't know yet how old Illyria is, but like he's probably like 20 to 40 years old.
Okay. So Zikris's name is now Lyraha.
That is the name that she had before she became Zikriz. I picked Zikriz because I thought it sounded fun.
Would you like us to keep calling you that?
I suppose it's up to you. Maybe if we figure out how to get my body back, I'll have a more stronger feeling one way or the other.
Fair enough.
But I mean, Illyria, the name, it was locked before, and now it is unlocked.
Oh, and your voice is back to the way that it was when you have memories.
Yes.
When you remember things.
When you're not screeching.
I could still screech if you'd like.
I mean, it was endearing.
Well, Vrisk, thank you so much for helping. But I think I don't know. We maybe need to report back to your venture captain, your vice Tom, to see what is next to do.
Yeah, also not to be like the bearer of bad news or catastrophize, but there is a night hag's daughter fucking around in town, and there's every chance she might try show up here. She might have sent the fucking little shadow fucks.
That does seem likely.
I am unsurprised. But
Are you prepared to do? I see, like you clearly can handle yourself, and the warning system was impressive. I think I'm gonna have a headache for a couple of days. Is it a place protected from that kind of influence?
protect from mystical? There is... Yes. I believe we will be safe here, and I could not leave the Sun Mistel. There are too many important tomes here that must be protected.
I suppose you probably don't. Do you dream?
Yes. I have always dreamed.
Dope as hell. But given the way night hags are, maybe, I don't know, try look into something that could protect you while you're sleeping? Given what night hags are like about.
Very well, and in turn, I will act to protect you. And he holds up the rod that he is using, and he says, "This is a tool for both defense and study, much as the golems of old were crafted. I pray it helps you in your quest to return my friend to her proper self. And if you would allow, I would mark you with her sigil."
Is that going to draw a lot of attention when we go back? Will people know what that is?
I can place it in a less... It is a mystical sign that might react with other signs of her passage.
Yeah, no.
I'll take it.
Bear in mind, like, Ist already has, like, scarification-esque tattoos on her face anyway. But for the sake of ease, I think Ist will, like, pull up one sleeve and pull the glove down a little bit so it can go on, like, their forearm. Where I, Jade, have many a tattoo.
Mm-hmm. And he places the Arc Lord Aliraha's sigil as per the sigil cantrip on your forearm.
I guess I'll hold my arm out to do the same. Mindy has no tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gives it to you.
Very rock and roll, Mindy.
Calamus is confused and like holds out an arm just like, "I'm a cactus."
I fail to see how that makes a difference. And he places the sigil on your arm.
Stab me, bro.
Yeah, H2 steps forward, presents arm, doesn't say anything.
For the record, the rod that he presented to you all with is a +1 striking low-grade silver morning star.
Oh, also, when you were describing the little pointers for reading the scrolls, I was like, oh, that's a very specific Jewish item for reading the Torah.
Yeah, that's
right. Oh yeah,
that's called a yad.
That's probably why this guy's got that. He's like you know, I guess, yeah, must have drawn that sort of inspiration. For the record, the ones in the other room, the protected tomes, when you have the little stylus and you point it at the tomes, you can use it to flip pages even while they're floating in the mist.
That's so fucking cool.
It's pretty cool. It's to prevent the oils of your hands from getting on the old parchment.
Yeah, that's almost exactly why it's like that in here, except magical.
Exactly. That's so fun.
I
love it.
I'm not going to take the Morning Star, but somebody else should please feel free.
I am also not going to take the Morning Star because that is very much not my combat type.
H2, load up. Have all your combat options.
It is a simple weapon, so Calamus could use it. It's a one-handed 1d6. It's 2d6 damage.
Oh, that might be worth
striking Morning Star.
You taking Calamus, because you've got a bonus to strength. Even if it's not a big one, you have one.
I guess it's H2. Would it be something you would want? I don't want to take it from you.
H2, like, kind of pats the pommel of her greatsword and says, you would benefit from it more than I would.
Take it, squishy creature. All right, yeah. I'll take that because that means I can use my shield too with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's a D6 damage, but it's 2 dice, and it's got a +1 item bonus to attacks.
Cannot believe this Gogum's name is so close to fucking Vriska. There is no escape for me.
Yeah, I don't know
I thought
why.
it was just Risk, and I was like, "That's a dope name." And now I see it; it's got a V on the front, and I'm like, "God!"
Oh, I
fucking
heard.
damn it."
I was holding myself back from being like Vriska the whole time.
See,
You
the
said it was
person who wrote this,
2d6?
the person who wrote this, yes, 2d6 Adventure Path could entirely be a Homestuck.
Oh,
So-
It could
very likely.
This was written by Michael Bramnick.
To be fair,
That's the
though,
writer.
my understanding of what Vriska is like, this guy is so the antithesis
Yeah.
of what she is like.
Yes,
Mhm.
this is true. But also, haha, funny name, Simawar.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And then, yeah, Lyra Hatzazonic was the full name of that Zikras used before she became a skull. Yeah. And Vrisk says, I can reactivate the teleportation sigil back to the conservatorium unless you'd like to hail a carpet.
What do you think, Mindy? You're the one that goes a bit green around the gills. Also, more, do we want to be seen flying away from here? Probably not, right?
I will live.
Don't want to be drawing attention to the place.
Yeah. I guess.
Don't worry, Mindy. The tattoo doesn't make you cool.
Cool, thanks.
Great.
Great.
It doesn't
well.
change. It doesn't change who you are as a person. It's just an image.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I'll live.
I don't understand the tension here. He's just looking between the two of you. What are you talking about?
How uncool I am. Yeah.
No. Well, I'll look at it and do the sign. I won't say it out loud, but I'll mouth it. Just like oil and water. That's all.
All right. And yeah, so Vrisk leads you back to the protected tomes chamber with this teleportation circle. And he says, thank you for your visit. I hope in the future you may spend more time here. And Zikras looks at him and says, yes, thank you. And he says, you have nothing to thank me for. And I look forward to seeing you as you are again. And he waves a hand, and the room is filled with light. And you are back in the city.
So you got all your memories back then, Z?
Yes. I mean, most of them, from what I can. I still don't remember what exactly happened to cause me to become the way that I became, but I remember years and years of mystical, arcane. I really need to get hands again so that I can start casting spells.
I do have to, was he your boyfriend, though? I just have to know.
He was kind of more like a son.
Oh, yeah, no, that's...
You
no.
did make him.
I created him. I mean, he's very handsome. That's true.
Yes,
I
but
made
there's
him,
all these stories about, people making statues and falling in love with them. It's not out of the realm of possibility, and he was a very handsome chunk of rock.
He was. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, my metric for what you might consider attractive is probably very different to the rest of you. But objectively speaking, that was a very well-crafted set of abs.
Oh my god.
That is
You
true.
sure did craft them with love.
I mean, what other way is there to craft things?
Hate.
I mean, you don't have to give them washable abs, though.
I mean, if you can, why wouldn't you?
I just want to say for the listeners, Zach did the best sort of head to face. And it was mwah.
Yeah, and so you come back. People, as you leave the Starlight Conservatorium, there are people who remember the name Eliraha. It seems that having Zikriz hear her own name, like, broke at least part of whatever the thing was that, like, had sent her name away. You're not sure what exactly that means, but I suppose it's time to go back to Nexus House to figure it out.
Hi, it's August, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on your podcast platform of choice, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about us using the FTLcast hashtag. We are also part of a nonprofit podcasting guild called Standing Stones Productions. We do a variety of shows, including The Room Where It Happened and Dumb Kids Playing Hero, 2 actual play shows, and a Steven Universe discussion podcast called Gay Space Rocks. We also do live streams at twitch.tv/StandingStonesProd. You can keep up with everything that we do on Twitter at Stones_standing. Unfortunately, Standing Stones was already taken. Your support means a lot. Thanks again!